Hey YouTubers, just replacing the starter on the 99 Buick Lesabre Custom non-supercharger. That's the old one. It's got 200 and, I don't know, 12,000 miles or so on it. We got a really good deal on Amazon, brand new for like $65, not a reman or any of that junk. This bolt was kind of a bear to get out, even though it was short. It was kind of a bear because it was really kind of stuck and wedged in there with these pieces of herringbone they got cut in there to kind of grab the stud. But you'll find you'll have to fudge around with that with some extra tools. Uh, Kind of a pain, but not too bad. And then let's see, let's go into here a second. There's this. It's a flywheel cover. There's actually three bolts. There's three bolts here, one there, and one over there, obviously. And they're all just 10 millimeter. So pretty much all you need for this job is obviously a 8 millimeter to disconnect the battery, the negative battery terminal first. Always do that. And then you're just going to need a 10 millimeter, a 15 millimeter, and a 13 millimeter. A 13 is going to be for this terminal right here. This is probably an 8. It's probably an 8 a millimeter if I'm not mistaken. And these, the two main bolts are 15s. Okay, two main bolts are 15. So again, it's a 15 millimeter, 13 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and then the 10 for the cover bolts. Now, actually, there's two covers. This one was rather easy. The third bolt that's off to the side, it's not covered on this one, but the other one, here it is, it's over here. This one was a bear. This was the one that was actually wrapping around the starter, and this part right here was hiding the big bolt, if you will. So once you if it's warm out, this is pretty flexible. I just bent this part back and over pretty darn good, almost to the point of breaking. That's the third bolt goes in right there, by the way. The third 10 millimeter bolt right there. Uh, so that's pretty much the deal there. Right in smack in the middle of this here, so it's kind of hard to do the video and show you all at the same time, but it just goes up in there. I don't know how well you can see trying to focus here. And there's just two wires, obviously. I'm going to clean these wires up really good. You got the 8 millimeter one that goes to the solenoid, and the other one's like the battery connection, if you will. And good time to check the flywheel, make sure that looks good and everything. Is what it is. And I guess the other one pretty much serves as a stone guard. Looks like probably a stone guard. I replaced many things in this Buick. I replaced the oil pan, always put a magnet there, and I got a new plug, and I got a new transmission pan, Dorman transmission pan, with a plug in it so I can just drain it real quick. I got a magnet there. I replaced my catalytic converter last year with the O2 sensors and all that. I did all that. Do what you can when you can. Why give the mechanics $100 an hour when you can do it yourself? So that's pretty much it. The other bolt you kind of got to get at from under here. Let me show you. It's kind of tough to really kind of see there. The light's on, but that's the deal there. It's not rocket science. I did the transmission lines too about a year or so ago. They're aluminum. They were going bad. So that's pretty much it. Two bolts, two wires. It's the stupid plastic covers. I didn't want to break them. They took the most time. It's very difficult to get those bolts. But this bolt right here, the short bolt that you see, is missing obviously. But that short bolt to get the original one out is kind of a pain. To getting the new one back in there, it'll probably just pop right in really easy. This strut housing for this shock was a real pain because that third bolt is right here. Maybe I don't know if you can't really see it because it's not there, but it's in that vicinity. So you may even need a small crescent wrench on that one. Or actually what ended up working good for me was a good 10 millimeter with a ratchet on it. That also worked very well too as well. But it's just in a terrible spot. So they obviously they built the engine, then threw it in the car, so that's pretty much it. And this is what I hear. It got great reviews on the starter here, so there's really nothing to it, but it was Amazon. Yep, brand new. That's the part number there, right there. It's a breather there, I guess. So, you know, I see these other YouTubers taking out the starter and then putting in another used starter. It's like, are you kidding me? The thing's probably got over 100,000 on it. I mean, be real. Spend a couple bucks and do it right. You only got to do it once. You know, this isn't something you want to do in the middle of the winter. And then I also have to, if you ever get an evap code, P0440 or 442, 9 times out of 10, it's the canister purge solenoid valve. I just ordered mine, didn't come in yet. And then I gotta get, because I got a little crack on this hose, you probably can't see it, a little connector there. I bought some hose connections there. So make sure they're all tried and true, and you gotta take this off to do it. Basically replaced a lot of sensors on here. I always put dates on them when the parts have been replaced, and they're all holding well. You know, I've done the Dorman manifold there, got metal gaskets, got rid of that orange Dex Cool antifreeze. Never run that crap. That stuff will destroy your gaskets in no time. You know, I did brand new injectors. I pulled that off. I did all that brand new alternator, new belts. You know, got a good, got a really good glass mat. AGM glass matted battery there, so that one, you know, it's about 925 CCA. And new coils, did new coils, new wires, new spark plugs, iridium spark plugs, you know, so new thermostat and hoses and all that. So she's all running good for a 99 Buick Lesabre, you know, 220 thou on it. But oh, and a new over here too, a new EGR valve. I put that on. Actually, I had a couple bad ones, and you know, ran into some issues there where it wasn't so much the gasket, but it was right up above where this mounting area is. That part blew out, so I had gas going out. And what I did, I got slick. I found a nice piece of metal, and I actually did like a block off plate, and then I drilled a couple little holes in there, so it doesn't truly utilize all the EGR. It just I drilled it out just enough so I don't get any codes, EGR codes, and that worked out pretty good there. Nice piece of metal, drilled it. You know, it was pretty slick. You never know it was there, as I told you. I just had to use two gaskets. You know, the piece of metal and then the gasket and then the unit. So that's pretty much it. You know, just a quick summary there. But the starter, you know, yeah, she'll go back in. She'll go back in about 10 minutes or so. No big deal. Pretty easy job. Just need a little nice day and some right tools and some patience and some ramps. Get yourself some of these ramps so you can bring the car right up and be nice and safe. You know, better than hydraulic jacks any day. All right, take care, YouTubers. We'll talk to you. See you. Bye.